Happy belated Halloween Eve or something like that. I don't know. This is November 1st at the time of filming this video. Because once again, for 2024, Halloween was horrendous. The wind was like 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It was insane. Insanity. But I still had to film a bunch of videos for this haunt. So here we are on November 1st. Thank God it's a Friday and I don't have school on Fridays. So let's get right into it. Over here is the cemetery, and it has got to be my most favorite section of the whole year. Everything seemed to work out very well. All the lighting and the details. A lot of the stuff I was envisioning in my mind, and I gotta say for the majority of it, it came out pretty perfectly. Right here is the Reaper and Deadlift Zombie, and they're on a remote. There we go, I pressed the wrong button. But there he is, and then the Reaper goes off. Very much inspired by the old displays of the ISEs back in the day. And then Cemetery Angel is right here as well. He was I got him way through the haunt build videos and stuff. So he just kind of found his way right here. There used to be a tombstone here, if you watch like probably one of the older videos. But he looks like a statue of sorts, so I figured he fit well enough. And you got the little skelly bones. It's a little late, so he was already taken in. He was going off all night nonstop. It was really annoying. But this guy's been he's been working ever since 2016. He doesn't take a break, and like his sensor is just so good. There's probably literal miles on that motor that's in his head, as well as the swinging mechanism, because it just doesn't stop, and it's been 8 years strong now. On this side, it's a little more of a quiet area. I just have my Reaper. Looks like there's a spider making its web. You have Demonica, the new model right there. This area was working pretty well until up recently, where I don't know if it's my remotes or chained to the grave himself, but he no longer works on his try me function for my remote stuff. He works on a try me button and a foot pad, so there's some things to figure out, but he does work still. I have him on just on mode, but he looks really cool with the tombstone and the candlelight, and then when the candlelight shines on him, it looks even cooler. He's probably one of my favorite props I got this year. And then up here, still working on the remote, is the Grave Digger. Here he goes. And you also have the Creepy Caretaker, who's just on his own, but it seems like he goes off in sequence with Grave Digger's, like, whatever background sounds. It's kind of funny. But there he is. The Grim Graven Angel is up on the monument. I put some candlelights, motivated lighting on him. And then hiding behind the tombstone is Pop-Up Zombie. There he is. And his activation usually activates the Grave Watcher, who's sitting in the mausoleum. Continuing the walk, you have Guardian of the Grave, who works on a slot machine and works pretty well. Let's see him work. He's on his timer usually, but next year I think I might want to change that. I might want to try and get him on his try me function. Make it more cohesive with everything else. And this gargoyle looks absolutely amazing. I really wanted to add motivated lighting to these props or tombstones because of all the detail that's in the faces and stuff, for all the light to like reflect off of. So I wanted to make sure that those three had candles with them. Over here is Shirley Stab. Last minute put a blue fire and ice light on her. Figured some light's better than nothing. She looks okay in it, but I really want to make this a little more cohesive of a scene next year. But I got a whole year to plan for it. And then going up here is the newest addition to themes of the haunted house, and that is the Haunted Hotel. No vacancy, or vacancy, I don't know, it flickers on and off. But let's just go check this out. But before we check it out, let's see Grim. Grim's just kind of a outcast, I guess, which kind of sucks because I really want to use him more because he's so cool, but I just haven't found a good spot for him. I know some of you have commented on putting him behind the desk in the hotel, but the problem with that is that it's very shallow, and I would have to move this desk part like really far out for it to like fit back there. It's not that deep, and his base is just way too big, so I'd have to figure out something, but this is the hotel for now. I think the props fit fairly well in here. The bells work, which is good. They still work from 2016. Anyone who's wondering, it's literally just a try me button that's under the bell. It's nothing crazy. And I used the door knocker for a peekaboo penny. Just something different, because a try me button's kind of boring in this sense. So peekaboo penny, and then you have lunging lily on the other bell. Her pop-up mech activates the cherubs, and usually the book, but I didn't have the book on tonight. It was only like a 3-hour thing we were doing just to like make up for missing Halloween, but I'm happy with it. Moving on into the carnival section, which is another section that truly got really built up this year. Since it's November 1st, I was able to get my hands on those rotating lights that were used on Emily and Victor at the ISE this year, and I really love them right here. I like the lights coming in and out. You can see Madame Morbida and the Ringmaster. Man, I went to like 3 spirit stores today in the morning to look for like 50% off deals. The Ringmaster was like overstocked. Like the one store had like 7 Ringmasters to sell at the discounted price of $250, and then the 50% off on top of that. He wasn't a good seller. Now that sounds like he maybe wasn't the greatest, but to me as a collector, I think that is a great thing to hear, because that means that this thing is probably going to be pretty rare in the coming years because he sold so poorly. It's like a Ghostface, Jemmy Ghostface situation. I have Nibbles here. He doesn't work well with no lights, so he just stares at nothing. This isn't even plugged into anything. You got the Banner Clown from 2010, and Miss Fortune Teller works well. Here, let's see her work. Okay. I think she has to do this again.
With knowledge comes peril.
Alright, let's press it. There we go. Look at the detail in that. It's very scary. There's the Ringmaster with the projection. It works pretty well. But let's enter. You've got Zombie Barrel, Bone Collector, and Caged Beast. I got the jute netting on the ground and lighting that is influenced by the old displays back in the day. We're going to have an old severed head. Got the popcorn from this year's ISE. On this side is Clown Train items. There's the clown mirror, push down the TNT box, Wacky Mole, and Thrashing Clown. Over here you've got the other section of Clown Train, Silent and Deadly, with some lights that are inspired by the old displays, Bloody Bag of Jokes, and Dead Humor. I like this shot right here with these two. It's something that I kind of overlooked in the past, but it looks pretty cool. This side, you got Bite Size and Charlie. Charlie works. Bite Size is so dry rotted, I'm scared to activate him in fear that he's gonna like start to fall apart. But you can see these cracks, and it's rough. He's getting to the end of his life, unfortunately. But he's still on his barrel, still going strong, I guess. Here's another side of Cirque du Spirit. We got Crated Mummy, Magic Mirror, and the Belly Buster, which I hooked up to one of my remotes. Again, you got inspired lighting. And there is the belly buster. On this side, you have modern circus animatronics. There he is, and Barnaby. Let's move into the lab. You got Shivers outside, greeting you to come in. The oldest prop I own, I think. In here, most everything's working. I usually have an actor in here, like usual. But let's throw these switches to activate those two. This one's supposed to do death row, but he kind of hasn't been working as of recently. Oh, he's working now. What a surprise. But you got the 3 like electrocuted buddies in here. There we go. Barry stopped working after only 2 years. His motor gave out. I unplugged it for now. I don't know what's wrong. It could be something simple, but he's just chilling in here static at the moment. And then here's an actual static, the Plague Doctor. I never hooked up fog to him this year, but I wanted to. There is John Doe and Evil Scientist. And here is Toe Tagged as the alien. Very nice. And then the shelving of just random oddities. I don't know if I'm going to keep this next year or try to disperse it in a better way. Get like a slimmer shelf or something, because this just takes up too much space and I'd like to really add another prop in here. The next theme is the swamp, which is another area that I really enjoy. This is probably the second favorite, right after the front cemetery. Right here you have Towering Tallulah, who's on one of the beam sensors from Spirit. She has got to be the faultiest out of the 3 jumpers. There's just been so many problems I've had with this one, and it's really annoying. A lot of times is that her clothing keeps getting caught on like the hooks somehow and causes her to only go up like halfway, and I'm sure that's not good for it. Here's another thing that I got from the 50% off sale. I wanted it all season. It's like a witch to me. It looks like a witch, but it's like the same. It's the same face mask from like one of the older Severed props. But this thing, they jumped up the price to like $60 this year, so I didn't want to pay that. And surely enough, at one of the stores, there was one left over, so $30 for it, not too bad. Another thing I got at the 50% off sale were these flame light things. I don't even know what they're called. I don't know if I like them here. They might be taking away from the scene a little too much. But here we go. One button press activates the cat, Gertrude, and Cauldroness. Like this section right here is probably my favorite little like scene, I gotta say, out of like the whole display, with all the little swamp lights and the way the motivated lighting. Like I got these lights shining on Gertrude here to pop out some of the features. I really like that a lot. And then you also have the laser swamp. Let's see if I can get a better shot down here. It's really looking good. But yeah, honestly, this is probably my favorite little scene. I like the addition of the Beware Witch instead of that tree branch that we had last year. I think this fills it out a little more. And for anyone who knows about the Wicked Woods, they would know that these two were together back in the day, and hopefully would probably appreciate that. Moving on, our neighbors were very kind enough to us to give us their vines from their pumpkins that they grew this year. And there was like hundreds of feet of vine that just draped this wall because the cucumbers died so quickly. And out of all the seeds we planted, only like 7 actually became of something. And it wasn't really that good. So these vines really came in clutch. Really happy with that. Over here, my dad made some of these like weird like wind chime bone things. We had a bunch of these Dollar Tree tiny skulls. So I wanted to, or my dad rather wanted to make these up. And he did a really good job with them. And they look pretty cool. And hopefully we can save them for next year. Here's Twitching Banshee. I got her out of the tunnel because she's been in the tunnel ever since I got her back in like 2018. So she's out of there in a new spot. I like this a little more, I think. She kind of fits in with the swamp, if I'm being honest. Here we've got some of my books that I made last year, as well as a lantern and the cat from Spirit. Continuing on, you have Desmodus right here. And the Howling Werewolf and Doc Hanovar. I never got the chance to do what I wanted to do with this grandpa from Lowe's last year, so he's just been sitting here as a static. But next year, hopefully I can turn him into like a swamp zombie that looks very similar to like the compost corpse from 2015. That's kind of the inspiration I want to do. But I didn't even have time to put him on air this year, so he's just been chilling. And then behind me, you got Darling Dolly in the same spot. Do you guys like the purple light here? Because I don't know if it fits her really well, and I have probably every color of like fire and ice light of the rainbow. I've got black lights, fire and ice. Maybe that would be a little better because it's a little dimmer, but I don't know. Part of me likes to show the face of the doll and like these long branch arm things to make it like, what the heck is that? You know, rather than just something jumping out at you. I want people to see her, but I'm not sure for next year, like in respect for next year, but that's like the purple one that Spirit sells. Moving on into the swamp layer. This was where Reagan was last year, but she didn't really fit well and didn't make much sense. So Lethal Lily is in here, and I gotta say it makes more sense. There's a bunch of like vines and stuff hanging from the ceiling, and the netting, the mesh netting found on Amazon. And there she is. Got the cauldron in here too. It's just got some like lights in there to make it look like something's boiling. It looks okay. But you have to like run through these vines and stuff. And then there's some more over here. I want to add more lighting in here, but I don't want it to be too over exaggerated because I got the vines from like Spirit last year, and I just want to show it off more. Like there's a snake right here, but you can't even see it. I want you to see the snake. Okay, moving on. This area changed up a little bit. I'm still not 100% happy with how the layout is, or just the whole set design in general, but I'm not sure where to go from here. I do like the fact that the pillars are actually back there instead of up here, because it makes more sense that right now we're outside of the cemetery and now we're walking into it. The tree kind of blocks the farm, like in a way kind of hides it, so you're focusing on the cemetery, but maybe get a better something to block this off for next year. Right here is Mr. Dark. He's probably better here than Hellspawn. He still jumps up pretty fast too. I put the new Grave Watcher right here. Makes sense. If you saw some of my other videos, I think she was in like the farm area. But I got something new to replace it, and I'll show you that soon enough. For those of you who are true fans of the channel, you might know what is in that place now. Here we go, Spirit Hollow Cemetery, the archway, and the Hauntress pops out. I have the Hauntress's base like on an angle a little bit. That way she comes out a lot faster. But the worry with that, obviously, is, well, is it going to break sooner? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? Moving on, though, this area was pretty nice. I want to make these pillars a little more detailed or something. I think they look a little too plain, but I don't know exactly what I do. I thought maybe it'd be cool to get like some hanging lanterns right here to hang on the tops. I wanted to put the gargoyles last year from the ISE on here, but there's so much wind sometimes, and these are top heavy at that point with those heavy gargoyles that I don't want them falling and busting into a billion pieces. So moving on, I've got the new Haunted Hill Farm tombstone lifter. Kind of really wanted to have the original out here to show that like it's from 2009, it's still working, but I couldn't get it working on the Try Me feature, which really was annoying. But this one's just so much better in so many ways that I figured maybe I'll just leave the old one preserving it and not let it get out here and get wet and from the dew on the grass and stuff. My gargoyle is working well, but I left him out all season. I'm kind of regretting that right now because his red LED eyes aren't working anymore. Kind of bugs me. There's an access compartment in the back to maybe open him up, but I really don't want to have to do that, but we'll see. But yeah, this area just, it's a little lackluster to me. I would like some bigger tombstones maybe, or something like a monument or something here to make it more of a cemetery. But there you can see he's working. Oh, that's zoomed in too much. But he's fogging out of his mouth, but he's not activating. I don't know how his controls even work. Moving on into the farm. This is probably like the third favorite section. It's really the Swamp Front Cemetery and the farm that are like my most proudest sections, I would say. But here is the harvester right here. He's on a remote. Kind of greets you entering. Welcome to the Haunted Farmhouse. Hay bale and Zombie Farmer from 08. He's really starting to rot as well. You probably can't see that, but it's getting a little rough for him. He's nearing the end of his life, unfortunately. Here's Jack Straw. He's in a similar spot to last year. Like right here, this is probably one of my favorite shots as well with the windmill. And let me just back up a little more. There we go. That's probably my favorite shot. Captures almost everything. But you got the windmill peeking through the corn stalks. Here is Moonshine Barrel Zombie. I wish he had a louder speaker. Thing is so quiet. Pumpkin Patch Prowler right here. I did fix him. It was a cracked gear. His 8-tooth gear cracked and was preventing the gearbox to move. So he's back working. Happy about that. It's good. I added, I don't know if I showed this on video, but I added some more motivated lighting here for Buzzsaw, Smoldering, and Butcher. I gotta say, Buzzsaw looks the best with the amber lights. He looks very similar to the old ISE back in the day. Here he goes. I put new batteries in him today because the old ones seemed like they were dying out a little bit. But he's working pretty well. And Smoldering Zombie's working well as ever. He's probably one of my favorite characters. One of the coolest New Ray Sun pieces. And then here is Barnyard Butcher. For this to display today, I added a lot more gore because again, a lot of these parts were picked up from the 50% off sale. And I got severed feet and this old head from like 2014. So he looks pretty good. Happy with it. I got this lantern working today, which was a big deal for me. Over here is the children's play area. I got Hex, right? Rosemary, who doesn't work on my Try Me button, so I don't even know what's going on, but Halloween's over, so I'm not too concerned. You all know what she does. Tire Swing Zombie, I was having a problem with him where his latex was like giving out, so I think I moved the mouth flapper into his lower jaw, but now he just looks weird. Let's see if he goes again. Come on. Work again. Okay, maybe you won't. Oh, there we go. Look at his face. It's like, it's weird. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might add like a piece of foam between the latex and the mouth flap to kind of restrict the mouth mech a little bit and make it look less weird. Got a bunch of severed parts, the pig's head and stuff. I love this area. I like the detail. The chop shop sign here is right here. Moved it from over the door last year. Got Hellspawn right here on one of the remotes. And here's the new replacement. I found a cremator 50% off at one of the local stores. Excited about that. This is what I always wanted for here with these crosses and stuff. Very, very happy here. People say like, oh, he's kind of boring and overpriced, but I gotta be honest, I think he's pretty cool. And you gotta think like there's two motors in those lights. I think one of his motors is actually bad down here, but let's try again. I don't know if it's supposed to move or not, but this one's static. This one moves. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I'm gonna have to watch some videos. And then here is Emmeline. She's literally screwed to the wood now because of all the problems we were having last year. I don't know. Seems like it's working. And then into the mine. Again, this is an area I want to build up in the future. I want to make it more believable. But here we go. Got the strobes. Rick Ratman in here, chilling. The most goriest animatronic of modern day Spirit Halloween. And it looks like the jumping spider already activated. Oddly enough. There he goes. I gotta fix that too, the gear clicking. I don't know what's wrong with him. But got another set of beam sensors. There we go. Pretty cool piece. And that's the exit of the cemetery. You have Howling Spirit. I moved him. Okay. Gotta show some respect for this guy right here. Yesterday, we had 44 to 50 mile an hour winds. And I left this thing outside because he's outdoor rated. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It's Howling Spirit. But now I have a whole new respect for the thing. And the company that made him, because of how well he was able to take the wind. So much so that towards the end of the night, I noticed that he did fall over, and I was expecting that like his metal poles finally crimped and like bent over, but it wasn't that at all. The stakes that are held in the ground for him that are probably like 8-inch stakes, you know, they're pretty long. Those things got pulled out of the ground from the wind force. It wasn't that he broke or anything, and he was still fine. It was, but how strong the winds were to pull the stakes out of the ground, but he was still fine, was what was amazing to me. And he's still working great after all that. So definitely a top tier, durability-wise animatronic, I would say. But that is the end of the road for the Apache Cemetery for 2024. It was a great season. We just reached around 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I am very happy of that. I want to thank you all very much for all the support. Really, it means a lot to me. It helps me out a lot. And I just appreciate it all in general. So thank you so much for that. And I hope you enjoy the videos. I might be taking a break. I probably will be taking a break. I need a break from Halloween. I've been like doing Halloween stuff for the past 2 years consecutively. And it just is like a non-stop thing. But I think I'm going to take a little break. Think of some new ways to hit the 2025 season. I can't even believe I'm saying that, 2025. But I'm hoping to do some good things for that year. I'm going to play with some new video ideas. But that's all I have for you in today's video. I want to say thank you all so much for watching. Happy Halloween. And I will see you all in the next video.